We go to Hollywood.
Fuck.
Where former 70s actor Danny Masterson just got sentenced to 30 years for rape.
This mother...
Wait, hold on.
How about new?
Harvey Weinstein, in a release statement, quote, "I trained you well, young grasshopper." End of quote.
It's true.
I'm Jazz Borganzo, and this is what's next. Happy Friday, guys. TGIF. Jazz Borganzo, what's next? Your daily dose. Guys are doing good today as we go into the weekend. Hollywood. The land of make-believe. The land of actors. The land of film studios. You know, like Disney, Sony, you know, what other? Warner Brothers, Discovery, what have you. Well, unfortunately, Hollywood has gotten a bit of a bad rap lately. Well, not lately. Easily the last 20, 30, 40 years, you know. The Harvey Weinsteins of the world, you know, who had, you know, future actresses on his casting couch as he did whatever he wanted to do. And you had others like Oprah Winfrey and other actresses like Meryl Streep support the guy. And then came Me Too, and Me Too, Rose McGowan. She led the charge. We're going to expose these motherfuckers for the dirty bastards that they are. Yeah, they were. But while you had a number of Hollywood actresses and actors put their hands around Harvey Weinstein and those like him and support him, you still had the cesspool, you still had the shit, you still had the pedoisms, you still had the rapists running around that town. You know, when you had Corey Feldman, who was talking 20, 25 years ago about the pedoism, about the rapes that go on in that town, and they told Corey Feldman to go kick rocks and pound sand. Basically, go tell him to shut the f up. How's Corey Feldman looking now? Speaking of, former actor for the 70's show, Danny Masterson, just got sentenced to 30 years on 2 rape accounts. Harvey Weinstein would be so proud. And here we go. This comes out of Breitbart. 70's show actor Danny Masterson gets 30 years in life in prison for rape. A judge sentenced that 70's show star Danny Masterson to 30 years to life in prison Thursday for the rapes of 2 women 2 decades ago. Los Angeles Superior Court Justice Charlemagne Omado handed down a sentence to 47-year-old Masterson after hearing statements from the women about the trauma they experienced and the suffering caused by the disturbing memories in the years since. The actor, who has been in custody since May, sat in court wearing a suit. Masterson watched the women without visible reaction as they spoke. Quote, "When you raped me, you stole from me," said one woman who Masterson convicted of raping in 2003. That's what rape is. Theft of the spirit. Quote, "You're pathetic, disturbed, completely violent," she said. "The world is better off with you in prison." No, he's better off hanging in the gallows, but it's just me. The other woman, Masterson was found guilty of raping, said, has not shown an ounce of remorse for the pain he caused, she told the judge. "I knew he belonged behind bars for the safety of all women he came into contact with. I am so sorry. I'm so upset. I wish I reported him sooner to the police." After the initial jury failed to reach verdicts on 3 counts of rape in December, a mistrial was declared. Prosecutors retried Masterson on all 3 counts earlier this year. Excuse me. This time, a jury of 7 women and 5 men found Masterson guilty on 2 counts on May 31st after 7 days of deliberations. Both attacks took place in Masterson's Hollywood area home in 2003, when he was just at the height of his fame on that network show for Fox, That 70's Show. They could not reach a verdict on the 3rd count, and the allegation that Masterson also raped a longtime girlfriend. They had voted 8-4 in favor of conviction. A judge sentenced the actor rejecting a defense motion for a new trial that was argued earlier Thursday. The defense sought to have sentences for the 2 convictions run simultaneously and asked for a sentence of 15 years to life. The prosecution asked for a full 30-year life sentence Masterson was eligible for. Quote, in his life that will be impacted by what you decide today, Master's lawyer Sean Hawley told the judge before sentencing, and that life of his 9-year-old daughter, who means the world to him and whom he means the world. Quote, he has lived an exemplary life. He has been an extraordinary father, husband, brother and son, co-worker, and community servant. Still doesn't exclude the rape. Prosecutors allege that Masterson had used his prominence in the Church of Scientology, where all 3 women who are members at the time, to avoid consequences for the decades of attacks. Anybody who looks into the Church of Scientology, yeah, they protect their own with a vengeance. The women blamed the church for their hesitancy in going to the police about Masterson. True. They testified that when they reported to Scientology officials, that was a mistake. They were told that they were not raped, were put through ethics programs themselves. Yes, almost like a little re-education program, shall we say. And were warned against going into law enforcement to report a member of such high standing. The church said in a statement that the verdict, that the testimony and descriptions of Scientology beliefs during the trial were uniformly false. Of course they did. The church has no policy prohibiting or discouraging members from reporting criminal conduct of anyone, Scientologists or not, to law enforcement, the statement said, which of course is all BS. Masterson did not testify. His lawyers called no witnesses. The defense argued that the acts were consensual and an attempt to discredit the women's stories by highlighting changes and inconsistencies over time, which they showed signs of coordination between them. The women's whose testimony led to Masterson's conviction in 2003. He gave them drinks that became woozy, passed out before violently raping them. Oh, he gave them the Bill Cosby drug. Okay. May allow prosecutors and accusers to say directly in the second trial that Masterson drugged the women, excuse me, while only allowing the women to describe their condition to him at first. Masterson was not charged with any counts of drugging. There was no toxicology evidence to back up the assertion. The issue could be a factor in planned appeal for the defense of Masterson's conviction. The Associated Press did not typically name people who have been sexually abused. Masterson started with Ashton Kutcher, Mila Kunis, Topher Grace in a 70s show that ran from 98 to 2006. Should anyone be surprised about this? No one. No one should be surprised about this. That shit like this goes on in Hollywood. As I said in the beginning, just before the story, is that, it's my cat. That when you have shenanigans and bullshittery go on like this, it's no surprise. Like I said in the beginning, Harvey Weinstein, they were dealing with his dumb ass for over 30 years. They knew the shit that went on in his offices, on his casting couches, but yet turned a blind eye because those on those casting couches wanted to be famous. Until Rose McGowan, popped off about it. But when you had someone like, I'm forgetting his name right now, but it's going to bother me. But I think that when you had a number of actors who have come out since then and have said, yeah, this shit went on, and then when they're asked, well, why didn't you blow the whistle on Harvey Weinstein? You had rumors going around Danny Masterson and his shenanigans that were going on during the filming of that 70's show, but yet sit down and shut up. Shut up. You don't know what you speak. Or if you keep popping off, you keep opening your mouth, well, you'll never get an acting job in this town again. So he gets sentenced to 30 years. Of course, it will be appealed because that's what they do. And his sentence may be reduced, which would suck. And of course, like I said during the article, I would send him to the gallows, because he's already had a, fair trial. But that's just me. And with that being said, I'm Jasper Gonzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it, hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. And we'll see you next time. Peace.